Hello. I totally wasn't gone for a few weeks. Like, no, what are you guys talking about? You guys just clearly don't know how to count weeks. I was totally here last week. Definitely, I'm not lying at all. I was feeling like doing like a really like pinky winter look, which I'm pretty sure is like was trendy like what, like a bazillion centuries ago, but like I really wanted to do something that was like kind of cool pink, really dewy with like really intense pink blush, like just like kind of like a typical winter look, but I just really wanted to try it. And I did do a little bit of shopping during the Sephora sale, really not that much, like literally I think I got like 3 or 4 things, but I wanted to like maybe test them out on camera. Yeah, I think it says something about the fact that like the Sephora sale happened like eons ago, and I'm finally just sitting down and opening my box and testing the makeup for the first time now in front of you guys. Like, this is why I haven't been buying much makeup lately, is because then this is what happens to me. So but I digress. I'll start with that. So I did put on like a little bit of skincare already, so I'm just gonna go ahead and use like a little bit of like setting spray. This one is from D'Alba. It's been discontinued for a while, which I don't understand why brands discontinue their best products, but anyways, this is my last backup, so I'll be sad once it's gone. And I totally forgot to wet a sponge, and I'm too lazy to go and do that, so I'm just going to use like a cushion puff or something to apply my foundation, because like I'm like lazy. Like, I think I might be going back to my cushion foundation era just purely out of laziness. Like, maybe this might happen. I might buy one off YesStyle and see, because I kid you not, I have been so tired. I actually was going to film yesterday and then I got a migraine, so it just happens. And honestly, like, I don't know, I've heard that like some people said that the beta blockers that they got put on, it like helped with their heart rate, sure, but it made them really like tired and fatigued and stuff. So like, I don't know, maybe that's what's happening to me lately. But at the same time, like, I only take them at night, so if I stop taking them, then I cannot sleep. So I need to take them to sleep, which I had a color corrector I really wanted to buy, and then I kid you not, I just keep forgetting. It looked really interesting. It's from 2/4, so I don't have it. So I'm just going to use my tried and true Rare Beauty Under Eye Brightener. This is the only other one that I like. I feel like when you have I just dropped it. I feel like when you have cool neutral olive undertones, pretty much everything that the market sells as an under eye color corrector does nothing. Then I saw that 2/4 was releasing some complexion stuff, and 2/4, they've been on my radar. I really like their lip changers. I really wanted to buy their blushes and highlighters, but I just never had the money last year to like make that beauty box Korea order. Like, every time I was ready to order, and something else would come up and take my money, which, like, you know, we love how life happens. Like, that's how it always works. So I haven't had a chance to get caught up with her besides her lip changers, but I love how like unique all of her products are. So I definitely was really interested in seeing this color corrector base thing. Like, it's a shade I've never seen before, so I'm really hoping that I can eventually remember and buy it. But we'll see, because I do really want to actually try that one. But I'm just going to use my Rare Beauty one. And then for like the dewy base thing, my skin has not been in the greatest shape lately, partially because I've just been so exhausted and burned out. I've not been doing my skincare regularly. So I'm going to use my Chanel foundation, just because this one, I kind of can just use it even if my skin doesn't look all that great. So my peach fuzz is all grown out, but the Chanel foundation usually is pretty low maintenance. Like, I remember when I bought it with my Ulta points, because I was like, I don't think I feel like paying for this full price myself. And like, honestly, I was pretty skeptical. Like, I was like, it can't be all that, right? And then like, it's actually really nice. So I'm a believer now. As you can see, I am putting on such a light layer, and I'm just kind of gently bouncing my puff on my skin. So you can see that like a lot of my discoloration and my dark spots are still going to come through. This is already a pretty light coverage foundation, like even on a good day. So my bang curler, I thought I had 2. I thought I had one in the bathroom, and I thought I had one here, but I don't have one here. I just have that one in the bathroom. So it turns out I only had one, and so because I left it in the bathroom, I don't have it. So my bangs are just down and enjoying themselves today. Which is fine, because my hair is still technically not fully dry. I just dried it just enough that I could hop on camera and film really quick, and my hair will just finish air drying on its own, and it'll be fine. But yeah, you can see that, like, especially on this side of my face, because when I get anxious, I pick at my skin. So like, you can see that I've got some spots. Don't pick at your skin, kids. It's not good for you. And you can see when I put on the second layer, I make it a little bit thicker, then you can see that the redness is concealed a little bit better. And I did put on like Lano lips before I sat down to film, because as you can see, I had some cold sore issues. I actually have prescription antiviral now, because I kept getting cold sores because my immune system just doesn't know how to behave. So I do have prescription antivirals, but you can see that it still sometimes will leave behind some residual scarring. I just realized I still do not have paper towels. I keep telling myself every time I sit down to film to bring paper towels, and then what do? I don't bring paper towels. Okay, and now I'm going to put on some concealer. So I have not, like, I have not actually worn makeup at this point for like 3 weeks, which I know, it's like so bad. We'll see if I even remember how to put on concealer. I'm like kind of nervous because I might have forgotten how. I also like still haven't washed my brushes, so let me see if I can like find an appropriate brush. Hold on. Okay, I'm just going to use a very small brush. I think this is just a really old Morphe brush. A little bit lighter today, just in case my under eyes are too dry to take any more product. That's good enough. Like, it's not the greatest, but I think that's the best we're gonna do. Okay, and then I do need to use like even like a tiny bit of setting powder. I don't usually like using very much setting powder in the winter, I'll be honest. I did get a new powder during the Sephora sale. The cats have the zoomies. I think Mr. Bean is chasing someone based on the fact that I hear hissing. I got one of the things I got from the Sephora sale. This is definitely more of an indulgent personal purchase than anything actually practical, so I am not condoning the purchase of this item. I honestly think that this was probably a pretty stupid decision on my part. But that being said, I don't really have regrets either, because remember when I got the PRADA lip balm? Like, remember when I got this thing? And like, unironically, I like it. Well, I got the, I still do want their eyeshadows, but anyways, more importantly, I got their setting powder. I know, great decision, smart. No, I don't think you guys should be emulating my behavior. The color is just so appealing, first of all, so pretty and soft. I love the mint green. It's just such a satisfying shade of mint green. I figure it's gonna just mostly look like very pale. Like, I don't think the green is actually, like, if the green actually showed up on your skin, that would make a pretty weird powder. Like, at that point I could only see it being used like artistically or editorially. But I thought maybe the little amount of green might have some uses in like color correcting any like red spots or anything. I don't know. Well, it definitely like left my under eyes looking more matte, but they don't necessarily look super dry. We'll see like as the video goes on. Oh, and by the way, like if you see that my foundation is not sitting on my skin super well, like it's not looking the greatest, there's a little bit of breakup. Like I said, my skin has been in pretty sorry states lately, so yeah, foundation is like, any other foundation I could use would probably look even worse than this right now. My skin has not been in good shape, and so foundation's not gonna look good on it. My skin definitely usually looks way better than this. You guys know that. Oh, that's why it was so loud. It's got, you know how sometimes the cats chase each other, right? And like, you know how zoomies are contagious? Anyone who has cats will definitely understand what I'm talking about. I was like, man, it sounds like there's like bison stampeding across my carpet. What's going on? We do indeed have 3 cats chasing each other right now. So it looks like Mr. Bean started it. I think he like started chasing Nala, and then Miso just got really, really excited by it and started chasing them both. And Miso is like big chunky boy, so when he starts running, he like gallops and it's loud. So that's why it was so loud. Because I was like, this is not the sound that 2 cats make. This is the sound that like a herd of buffalo makes. Oh, and now he's trying to climb into a cardboard box. That is too small for him. It's very cute though. You know, I love when cats just want to be in like a space that they just barely fit into. Like they're like pushing out the sides, and they're like they're all the way up even into the corners, but they're like so comfy there. Like, I think that's just so cute. I think the record I've had is 4 cats. Just like it just like spread, and suddenly 4 cats were just rampaging up and down the stairs. I think that's my record. I've never actually had all 6 be involved. That would be pretty funny though, but I think Gates is too old for that. I'm going to do my eyebrows really quickly. I'll throw on just a little bit of eye primer. Yeah, I'm gonna use the SUQQU eye primer. See, when I don't use makeup for 3 weeks, and then I feel like, first off, I feel like I've forgotten how to apply makeup. And second off, I then start to wonder, even though it's only been 3 weeks that I've been gone, it feels like I haven't put on makeup for like a century. So in the 3 weeks I was gone, I then start panicking and I get really paranoid thinking all of my makeup has just magically and suddenly expired. Not true. But I genuinely, my sense of time is so bad that it feels like I've been gone for like centuries. And so I was like sitting down and I was like, what if all my makeup is expired? And I was like, wait, I haven't gone that long. That'd be weird if I was gone that long. I mean, maybe not. Apparently I have no sense of time scale or otherwise. I think if I had a sense of time, I wouldn't have been gone this long in the first place. Let's just be real here. Okay, so for my eyebrows, I'm going to just use my ESPOIR Brow Balance. Now, as you can see with my bangs being down, I don't really need to like do very much eyebrow stuff, and I also can't really do much eyebrow stuff without like constantly pushing my bangs back. So I'm just going to like do like the bare minimum for them today. Yeah, like literally, do you see how little I'm doing? because you're not really gonna see them, so it just really doesn't matter. Oh, also, if you hear like a really distinctively meow sound, like the cat is literally speaking English and saying meow, if you hear it in the background. So remember how I've mentioned before that Jackson and Gates came from a hoarding situation? So there are still 2 Siamese that are still alive that are at the shelter that never got adopted, and you know, if they don't get adopted, they can just live there long term. So there's 2 at this point that are left, and they are old, and they have enough health problems to fill, I kid you not, an entire medical textbook. And with the shelter still having like a bunch of renovations, all of the cats have been in foster, which means all of the old long-term residents have needed places to go. So the 2 Siamese got transferred to my place, and they're in the they're in the guest room, and they'll probably be there until, I think one of them, he is in super advanced, like end stage renal failure, so I'm pretty sure he maybe only has like a couple months to a year, and that's generous. Like, he definitely is like on his way out. And then the other one is doing fine, but is literally a psychopath. He's also like a criminal and has no shame. And he's the one who will get very, very vocal because, you know, I give them wet food twice a day, so he'll get very vocal. So if you hear him, don't mind him. That is indeed, like, yes, it is indeed, that is indeed what Jackson used to sound like, because they are all related. No, Jackson has not magically resurrected. That would be nice. That is just his brother from another mother, Stanley, wondering where the hell I went. And that is one of the other reasons I got really busy, was because of the fact okay, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't really feel like I was ready to take on those 2 because they are so incredibly special needs, and I already am like tired enough as it is, and they can get really messy, like especially because the one who's like, you know, has like 1 foot in his grave, he like always perpetually has diarrhea. He's sick, so he's stinky and he makes messes and he smells, and like the diarrhea doesn't always make it into the box, so like I have to clean a lot. So I just I was like not really like feeling like I was ready for them, I'm gonna be honest, but at the same time it's not really something you can like say no to. Like, it's just like they needed a place to go, the other person couldn't keep them anymore. Oh well, what do I do? Like, so anyways, they're at my house now. Apparently they like it. Like, the volunteers who come over to help me, like I think there's one volunteer who comes and helps me like 2 to 3 times a week, and she was like, oh, I've never seen him so happy, he's so happy here. And I'm like, well, that's nice, I guess. Like, sure, like I can't necessarily say I'm like the happiest about it, but I'm glad he's happy. But that's the other reason I've been gone for so long, is because they are time sinks, and that's generous. I love them. I mean, obviously I will give my full love and attention to any cat that I'm fostering, but I don't always, like, Mr. Bean was like a yes, I am ready, I would like to foster him situation. These 2, I was like not super ready, but they also really didn't have anywhere else to go, so I was kind of like I was kind of stuck. Like, it is not really a situation you can actively turn down very easily. So but anyways, if you hear him meowing, that is Stanley. He is very vocal. I'm not necessarily the biggest fan emotionally of the fact that like I'm hearing meows that sound identical to Jackson. Like, it was really, really weird the first week hearing it, because it literally felt like I was hearing because like him and Jackson vocally and visually look very, very similar, except that Stanley is a flame point, so he's like blonde, and Jackson was a seal point, so he was brown. But vocally they sound identical, like virtually identical, and it is still, I'm still not used to it. It is still very unnerving. It kind of just like plays with my mind in ways that I'm not necessarily a big fan of, and that was like the biggest reason I didn't really want them, was just because I just don't know if I was ready to deal with that. But here we are, I have to deal with it. Oh well. So okay, enough talking. I am going to move on. I'm gonna do like I said, I want to do like a pink makeup look and then like a cream blush. I don't know how dewy things are going to look by the end of it all. I'm not good at like the minimal no makeup, but I do really want to try and keep my eyeshadow more on the down low if I can. And I am going to use mostly the pinks in here. I thought these might be nice. So I'm going to start with the shade Andy, which is that, it's like that kind of like that mauve toned cream to powder shadow. I prefer when she uses her cream to powder formula for her darker shades. Yeah, you can hear him. He can hear me talking, so he's like, what are you doing? Why aren't you coming and feeding me? It's fine, he won't die. I'm like in a love-hate relationship with Natasha Denona's cream to powder formula. I think my biggest gripe with her cream to powder formula is not that her cream to powder formula is bad. It's not bad. My gripe is that her powder matte formula is so good that I don't know why she felt the need to make another matte formula. Like, sure, like, oh yeah, I can use my finger, no fallout. I could do that with her creamy mattes too if I really wanted to, and honestly, if you're careful about it, her creamy matte, which is her powder matte formula, doesn't have fallout problems much either, especially not compared to other formulas on the market that are more soft and powdery, like, you know, old school ABH, for instance. It's just one of the things where, like, don't add things if what you have works, like, kind of a situation. I feel like it just was an unnecessary addition. That's my hot take of the century. Okay, and I'm gonna take a little bit of Groove, and if I use too much of this and put it everywhere, this look is gonna turn super dark and smoky super quickly. So I'm going to do my best to just kind of keep it on the lash line. Yeah, this is what I get to listen to all day. So I've had them before, and I tried letting them out to mill around because I figured they might appreciate the extra space. And Stanley just freaking pees on my walls. Like, if he smells that a cat has rubbed up against something, he pees on it. And if he's in the room with just his Siamese siblings, like, so right now it's just him and Camden, just those two are the only ones left alive and at the shelter as long-term residents. So if he's in the guest room and it's just him and Camden, he pees in his litter box. He pees appropriately. But then for some reason, he just gets super, super territorial and super, 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 like, just insane and nutso, and, like, just becomes this maniac. And also, him and Matcha literally had a literal pissing match because of this, because I've mentioned before that Matcha has anxiety, so he was really bad for Matcha's anxiety, so they literally had a pissing war over this. Like, I was, like, not happy at all. And, like, obviously it's all long been since cleaned, because, like, since I'm at home all day, I would see it happen and I would just immediately clean it. And then towards the end of it, I started getting savvy to where the hot spots were that they like to fight over things, and I just started preemptively tacking the peat pads onto the walls to catch it before any mess was made. So in the end, no real damage was done, but it definitely just kind of drove me up a wall, because it's not really something sustainable. I don't want to deal with that for the rest of, like, my life 24/7, you know? And it's certainly not good for Matcha's mental health either if Stanley cannot behave himself. So anyways, yeah, he's just losing his little mind over there, but he'll be okay. Okay, so I took a little bit of Groove on the outer corner of my lower lash line, so now I'm going to take more of Andy and I'm going to take that across the entire lash line. I feel like the Retro Palette mattes, they're not necessarily mattes that, like, are super, like, flattering for a lot of people, but they make for really good lower lash line shades. Like, if you're looking for soft lower lash line shades that are really airy but also add a really nice depth and tone to your lower lash line, the Retro Palette, all of the matte shades, for some reason, are just really good lower lash line shades. It's, like, super, super interesting. Okay, so I'm gonna try and keep the mattes literally just like this. Like, we're really trying to be minimal with the eyeshadow here, okay? Okay, I kind of wanted to try, so as I've mentioned before, the, like, cooler pink to red duochrome shift shadows are one of my least favorite shades to use, which is why when Tom Ford released those Cherry Smoke quads, they looked really pretty aesthetically, but I did choose to skip them because I was like, I just am never gonna use those shades. But I feel like this is one situation where I kind of would like to try using a shade like that. I think might work for this is actually this shade from Bobbi Brown called Garnet. This is from a limited edition collection. You can tell by the art. So this is definitely not available anymore. My apologies. But I kind of wanted to see if this might work because, like, I didn't want to use a light shimmer. I definitely wanted it to be a colored shimmer. So we'll see if this one ends up working. I don't know. And I'm not using my fingers today because I did want it to be a little bit more diffuse. I did see the Cleona and Bad to the Brow collab, which congratulations, that is so amazing. I have not been buying makeup lately because as you see, I went 3 weeks between filming and I was not wearing makeup between that gap. Like, usually I'm wearing makeup on a semi-regular basis. In that context, I saw so many indie releases like the Bella Beauty Bar New Fairy palette, and I thought to myself, I am not in a position to buy anything new. Like, I really just am not. Look at how often I'm filming, look at how much I'm not even able to keep up with my current backlog that I have. Like, what a joke. So I unfortunately will not be buying it, but I have heard amazing things about the eyeshadow primer slash glitter glue thing that she released with the collection. Teresa is Dead was singing her praises about it, and I know Bad to the Brow has really oily eyelids, so that's why I was nervous to buy it, to think about it. Like, I wasn't considering it at first, but Teresa is Dead has very dry eyelids and very dry skin, so if she likes it, I'll probably like it. And my monolids, I swear, are aging. Like, look, they have wrinkles that weren't there before. Maybe I do need a stronger glitter glue. So I think eventually I will buy that, but I also, like, don't, if I'm gonna buy something from Cleona and pay shipping, I also don't want to, like, buy only one thing. So we'll see. For the lower lash line, I'm just going to go back into retro because it's just more readily accessible. I'm going to use the Psychedelic shade on the lower lash line. The shimmer shades in here were really pretty. I really have nothing bad to say about this palette except for the fact that the color scheme might not be up everyone's alley. But if you like the color scheme, I had no quality issues with this. I think the only NATASHA DENONA palette I found to be somewhat questionable was her pastel one, but it being a pastel palette also doesn't surprise me. I have really never had an issue with her palettes though overall. I'm gonna also take Psychedelic on the inner corner. And like I sound like I hate those two Meezers right now. Like I know I sound like I absolutely hate them. I do not hate them. It's just that you try listening to him go off for like an hour straight. And I'll go in and I'll be like, oh, Stanley, what's up? What do you want? And then he like avoids me. He's like, I don't actually like you. So then I'm like, okay, and I leave. And then he starts back up again. Like, I don't know what he wants. He's not like, cause like him and Camden, they're not anything like Jackson. Their personalities are wildly different. They both personality-wise are much more similar to Gates, Jackson's brother. The cat that was most similar to Jackson was his dad, Clemens, who passed very abruptly of heart failure earlier this year. Very sudden. Like, for all intents and purposes, Clemens should be alive right now, but he had a urinary blockage, and the stress of it caused him to enter heart failure. It was just the most contrived and awful situation possible. Like, I think that's the other reason why I wasn't necessarily too thrilled with the Meezers getting moved to my house, because of the fact that if there was a Meezer that would have comforted me after I lost Jackson so suddenly, it would have been Clemens, and he's not here either. I love Gates, but Gates is very different from Jackson. He's a lot more shy and timid, and he's a little bit more neurotic, because I mean, they're inbred to hell and back, so who knows how much of a brain they still even have. It'd be nice if he would like pipe down for a few minutes. The one thing about Psychedelic that's really fun is that it's not just a light pink. It also has other color reflex in there. Like there are some blue and white and orange reflex in there as well. So it's actually a surprisingly multi-dimensional sparkly shimmer when you use it, especially on bare skin. It's really, really pretty. So I am going to move straight onto blush, because I need to see if what I'm thinking of is even going to work. I was thinking of using a very, very berry tone. There were a lot of blushes that I really wanted to buy over Black Friday, I'll be honest. Like I really wanted to try some of the Fenty ones, and there were some other brands with blushes that just like, I just really wanted to start getting like the darker, grungier tones, because I've been seeing a lot of doughy makeup looks where the girls have very dark blush right under the eyes, and I've been wanting to try that. But I just didn't have the money, and I just was like, and I'm barely wearing makeup as it is, so I was like, you know what, I just can't do it. But now I really wish I had a shade like that. I will say though, this cream blush, it's not going to be super dewy. It is more of like a matte or natural kind of finish of blush, so it's not going to like give us the dewy wet look. I don't know, I love how I was like saying in the beginning of the video, I'm gonna like do like one of those really dewy wintry looks, and now my skin just looks kind of like natural and satin. I really like kind of putting my blush in like a C shape, so nothing new here. I don't like how sometimes, because of the shape of the brush, it kind of goes in like a shape like this. I don't really like when that happens. That's always kind of awkward. And just in case you didn't know, this blush from NATASHA DENONA, it's pigmented. I don't know if you can still buy this, but if you can and you are thinking of getting it, just remember, if you have a lighter skin tone like me, you do not need very much. Start off with a little. It's very easy to build and it blends really nicely. It's honestly a really great formula. And I like that it's on the drier side because it also means it will stay good for longer. But it is very pigmented, so if you're going to buy this when you have a lighter skin tone, just kind of be aware of that and use a lighter hand. It absolutely is usable if you have a lighter skin tone. You don't need to have a darker skin tone for this to work. If you have a darker skin tone, it'll look really good on you, and it's pigmented enough that it will show up on you. But if you have a lighter skin tone, you can still make this work. Just kind of, you know, be careful. I actually was thinking to myself, I have only used this once, because I'll be honest, I don't really know how to use it. But I kind of want to see maybe if I can use this to add some like fake dewiness back. But I don't know. We'll see. I'm like kind of scared. Okay, I'm gonna try using a brush because I don't really want to use my finger. If I use my finger, I'm gonna take off my base. I mostly bought this cheek palette for the cream blush and the Dream Glow. But if I'm gonna use it, I'm gonna take it on a brush and I'm just gonna very lightly tap it over my cheekbone to see if I can like fake a dewier complexion. Yeah, actually. Okay, that's not too bad. Oh, actually, that worked. Oh, he's still going after... Bean! Stop it! Stop it. Mr. Bean is still chasing Nala. No, at this point, that you're overdoing it at that point. Like, she was done with you 20 minutes ago. Stop it. No. Psst. Okay, so first off, he's huge. We still don't know what's wrong with him. Like, I think one of the shelter volunteers mentioned maybe looking into getting a fecal transplant for him. So, first of all, wow. Big boy. Stop chasing Nala. He's like, no, I'm gonna do it again. Just watch. I know. He's like, I'm gonna do it again. Ha 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 ha. Let me see if I like launch you over here. Okay, actually, that worked. A little bit of like a bronzy contour kind of situation, just for a little dimension. As you can see, I'm looking a little bit chunkier than normal. I really need to get off some of the meds that I'm on. I really need. So one of the other things that I actually got this from Ulta because it sold out on Sephora. So I waited until I got an Ulta coupon. Because as you know, I've mentioned it before, I have been eyeing this for a while and I was pretty dead set on buying it. I just really was like trying to like work up the courage to actually pull the trigger and hoping to get it on sale. So sold out at Sephora really quickly. This is the Holiday Hourglass palette for this year. Yes, I still have the plastic seal on it, and no, I'm not peeling it off. This is the dragon one. The only thing that really is honestly missing, I would say, is a pearl, because most of the time the dragons are chasing after or holding a pearl, but I digress. It's very pretty, and I didn't need to get it from the Hourglass website because I didn't need to change what was inside, so this is what's inside. This is like meant for like lighter skin tones, I think. And this bronzer specifically looked kind of nice, so I'm gonna try this bronzer. The pans are kind of small. I'm mostly focusing it on like the really outer perimeter of my face and then also on my jaw. I need more jaw definition. Just a little bit. I don't want to mix it into the blush too much. And then I will, this is an okay. Nala was digging at my trash bag for some reason. I don't know what she was thinking about. I'm going to take a little bit under my nose. Going on. If I gain weight, it shows up on my face pretty prominently, so. Woo, we love the side effects of medications in this house. No, we don't actually. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and put on some mascara off camera and then I'll be back and I'll do the lipstick and then that will finish off this look. Okay, mascara is on and as you can see, the lashes are visible. So the nice thing about wearing lighter eyeshadow is that your eyelashes will be more visible, and I like have like a joke conspiracy theory that one of the reasons Korean beauty tends to trend so much towards having minimal light eyeshadow is because us Asians are not blessed in the lash department. So if you don't want to wear false lashes and you have a dark smoky eye, you literally are going to have invisible lashes no matter how hard you try. Don't take it seriously. It's just a joke, but like also, is it? I'm going to do just a little bit on the inner corners, which is where I like to put it just for some definition. And I could have used ash or I could have used the brown, but sometimes I just really like how clean and defined a black looks. I want to put like a more intense highlighter on the center of my nose. And I recently got these from 2AN. They had such pretty colors. I placed a yes out order for all of the Ramon Bear water tints, and I am intending to make a video where I lip swatch them all eventually once my lips have healed. So I got these from 2AN, and I know Fui just released them. I might be interested. So I picked two shades up. They are very, very inexpensive, which good because it's teeny tiny. Highlighters have become trendy again in Korea, or shall I say trendy for the first time, because honestly highlighters in Korea used to be so bad aside from like the Clio ones. So I have tried many highlighters now. Honestly, Korean highlighters, they're so pretty. The packaging is so pretty, the embossings are so pretty, the advertising is so pretty, the colors are so pretty. Korean makeup just gets me. Like, I know it's all the same shades being released over and over again, but I get got. I can't help it. Some of the Korean formulas for highlighters I've tried were not that great. Like the Holika ones are, no, I don't buy those. So we'll see about this one. Doesn't feel chalky or dry at first touch. The Holika ones did. And I know highlighters in Korea overall, the new trendy ones have been buildable to quite an impressive shine, but they are still overall, like, for example, you compare it to like an old school ABH highlighter, it's definitely not going to be that intense. Ooh, this one would be really great for like a really soft look. It's because like it's building on really well. It doesn't feel dry at all. It kind of just melts into the skin almost, and it doesn't emphasize any of my texture. Not quite as intense as what I was going for. I think if I wasn't trying new makeup, I would have used like a Pat McGrath one. But for the lipstick, I really wanted to do something that's like super cool, berry tone. And I definitely have gotten at least a couple lipsticks that are kind of in that shade. So I was thinking maybe I might even do a gradient look with like a really dark purple. Like one of the things, so LANCOME had a pretty cool Black Friday sale, and I've been really eyeing these lipsticks, the Intimatte lipsticks, because A, the packaging is just really pretty, and B, the colors that they had were just so pleasing to look at. So I kind of was thinking of doing a more pink themed look because I wanted to see if I could incorporate this shade of lipstick. I'm thinking maybe I'll just go for a lipstick and then I can put like an oil or a gloss on top if I think I need it, but I'll just go for lipstick first because my lips are pretty well hydrated. I can still feel like the swollenness and stuff from the cold sores, but there's nothing bursting or discharging, so they should. Man, I thought I was over this one, but it feels like it's blistering again. I'm going to use this MAC Powder Kiss Velvet Blur Slim Stick in the shade Wild Sumac. Seems like it should work as a base shade for me. If it doesn't, like if it like actually is irredeemably bad, I will switch to something else. But I'm really hoping that one works because my brain is fried and I don't want to have to decide anymore. Throw on a lip liner. This is the Romand one. Oh yeah, that'll work. I feel like this formula existed for a hot second and then it got discontinued because like you can't find it anymore. It existed for like all of like a few seconds. So it's usually a pretty matte formula, but because I'm putting it on top of like a hefty amount of lanolip, it's gonna not look as matte, and that's fine. So as you can tell, this formula was definitely kind of made for like the Asian beauty trends because like it's really easy to like blur and blend the edges. This is the Lancome Intimatte lipstick in the shade Burst of Joy. The number is 460. I had like 8 shades in my cart, but then I forgot to buy it, and so by the time I remembered, half of them had sold out, and they were like all the good ones, including some of the true berry ones were like gone. My heart was broken a little bit, but that's what you get for having a terrible memory. I think that did make a difference. I just wasn't really paying attention. Actually, that's not bad. I might go for this one because this one seems to have a little bit of more of like a bit of a burgundy wine kind of sparkle running through it, whereas this one might be a little bit too much. Okay, so I'm going to use the MILANI Fruit Fetish Lip Oil in the shade 210 Black Cherry Vanilla. Okay, I could definitely see this being applied more intensely. It like took off what was underneath though. Sometimes stuff like this happens. Now I have like a little blank spot where the other lipstick was. But it is buildable, like it is actually building up to quite a nice color. This is the kind of shade where I think if I wore this on its own or over a red, it would look really good. But it's not playing too nicely with this specific lip formula, which I guess I'm not too surprised by. In isolation, if I had used this with like something that it had worked with, I think it would have looked just fine. Because I think I can see the potential. Actually, I quite like that this isn't super sheer, because like my biggest issue when I'm looking for blackened lip products, because we all know the blackened lip gloss thing like has me in a chokehold, has like everyone in a choke. I'm still waiting for Romand to actually release the black products. Maybe they did and I missed it. I'll have to check. I haven't been on Instagram in what feels like years. But I'm like so tired of getting one and then being like, oh, it's like so sheer I can barely see it. So this one actually is buildable and it's not super sheer, so kudos to MILANI. So if you want to try like a blackened lip color, you might like this. So this is my cool pink winter look, although as you can see, it didn't quite turn out as pink as I intended. I had like a whole vision in my mind. It was gonna look like it had like it was gonna like have like the Douyin classic pink tones. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I didn't actually, now that I think about it, I didn't actually end up using as many Sephora products as I thought I would. I did buy Icy Nudes. Hopefully I'll get a video of that somewhat soon, because definitely that's like winter palette quintessential. And I also got the Westman Atelier. I really want to try this formula because they have a berry tone I'm interested in. I want to try, for one of my future videos, I really want to try using Icy Nudes with this Westman Atelier lipstick I got, because I really want to enter my brown grunge lipstick era. It's got like chunky packaging though. Oh my god, you could throw this at them. You could throw this at someone's head and hurt them. So that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Snark aside, I am very sorry about my continued absence and kind of sporadic video schedule. This has not been my year, and I don't really even want to be optimistic for 2025 anymore because I just don't want to say anything. Like, I feel like if I'm a little too optimistic for 2025, there's going to be some catastrophe that kills all my cats at once. Like, I just want to say nothing and not jinx anything. But hopefully I'll be back next week, but no promises. But yeah, if you have any questions about this look, please feel free to let me know. Hope you guys are having an okay holiday season. It's not too crazy. I'm trying to keep things as low-key as possible because I just don't have the mental energy to deal with it. So I hope you guys have a good holiday season, nothing's too chaotic, and yeah, that'll be it. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.